Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks for coming by today. So we're just going to talk about April plans because it's just right around the corner. Just a couple of days. It's going to be April, so we might as well talk about it now. I have plans, but I don't have plans, if that makes sense. I pulled a bunch of books just to kind of mood read through the month, kind of go with what I'm feeling with. And then I got a couple of things that are kind of definites, and then some things I hope to get to. You know how it goes. That's how it is around here. So as usual, we're going to talk about book club stuff first and kind of get that going, and then we'll go into some events. Okay, first up, Death by TBR Book Club, of course, that I co-host with Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books. It's going to be Dead 11 by Jimmy Giuliano. I'm excited for this one. It works perfectly for Old School April. I think you can rack up a lot of points with this one. If you're participating, go Silver Snakes. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be really great. Looking forward to it. Of course, I'll link Kelly's Discord below, where she's got a little section for the Death by TBR book club chats. It's just very kind of casual. Reading it anytime throughout the month, and chat there in the chat. So it's been really fun so far. And so yeah, day 11. The Spinebreakers book club run by Brad Proctor. His pick for April is All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I'm really hoping I got time for this one. We'll see. If I can find the audio, I think I could definitely squeeze it in. But I definitely want to read more S.A. Cosby. I've loved 2 of his books I've read so far. So definitely want to check this one out. I don't even remember what this one's about. I just know I want to read it, Yeah. So Amy over at Dark Hearts Book Club, definitely hope to get this one too, is Skin by Kathy Koja. I love me some Kathy Koja, but I've not read this one yet. So I definitely want to get to this one. Old School Vibes, this is one of her older books, yeah. Kathy Koja. Okay. Okay, so Shades of Orange, her Patreon book club, The Girl with the Ghost Eyes by M.H. I can read my own writing. Is it Borelson? I can't read my own Scrabble. Anyway, I always put it on the list. I've not been good about getting into her book clubs this year yet. We'll see if I get to this one. I don't know. And of course, Christina over at the Reaper Book Club, her pick is Gila, which is like the giant Gila monster book. Looks like a lot of fun. Fingers crossed I'll get to that one too. So that's sounds pretty great. Okay, so that's kind of it for what I've penciled in for book club stuff. Dead 11 will be my actually, there's one more I forgot. So Dead 11 would definitely be a definite because that's my book club. But then Midnight Book Society, I forgot this one. It's on the list, but I forgot. Skipped over it. The Midnight Book Society, hosted by Kelsey from Simon Slashers, is a never-ending story. I'm going to be joining in with her and Amy to chat about this book at some point as well. This is by Michael, is it Ende? Should I pronounce that? So translated by Ralph Mannheim. I've never read the Never-Ending Story. I'm actually a little nervous. It's like one of those things where you hope it doesn't ruin your childhood, this book is a little long. And look at this little, let's get some small print. I don't know if there's an audio for this. So I may start it early in the month and just kind of slowly kind of make my way through it, I see there's kind of parts, so maybe I'll go for a part a week or something like that. I don't know. But I'm really excited to finally get to it too. I feel like it's, one you need to read at some point if you're a fan of Neverending Story, and I love to compare that with the movie. I feel like that movie will just forever hold a special place in my heart, but, whatever. So let's see. I was kind of trying to see when this was written. So it's first published, so this is translated from German, 1979. So it would actually work for one of the Old School April prompts too, if I need it. Anyway, Never-Ending Story. So I'm excited for that. So that's it for the book club. All right, so there are a few other events going on that I'd like to try. Like I said, maybe try to read one book for if I can, if I get to it. I don't know. We'll see. But of course, we've got Trans Girl April brought back. Of course, this is Say Kevy's event, and just taking it a bit easier this year. But really, it's, no prompts for anything this year going on. Just read books by some trans authors. So I pulled out one book, and I'd like to at least try to get to at least one. All the Birds in the Sky by Charlie Jane Anders. I've had this on my shelf for so long, and I just really want to get to it because it sounds amazing. Let me read it to you. An ancient society of witches and a hipster technological startup are going to war as the world tears itself apart. To further complicate things, each group's most promising follower, Patricia, a brilliant witch, and Lawrence, an engineering wunderkind, may just fall in love with each other. As the battle between magic and science rages in San Francisco against the backdrop of international chaos, Lawrence and Patricia are forced to choose sides, but their choices will determine the fate of the planet and all mankind. So it says this humorous, heartbreaking exploration of growing up extraordinary in a world filled with cruelty, scientific ingenuity, and magic. Right? It sounds amazing. So I just really want to get to it. I've yet to read this author. I feel like I really need to. So yeah. So I've got that one picked out for Trans Girl April. I don't technically have anything filled out for Giant Ape-ril, which I saw over on Roy Reads Anything's channel. There are, I think, another host or two. I'm sorry, I forget. Of course, I will link anybody below. Any channels I mentioned, I'll link below. Any kind of events, I'll link all the hosts and all that good stuff below. So this event sounds really fun. Reading, about giant apes, like, King Kong and stuff like that. Any kind of like giant monster or, something like that. I think it sounds fun. But I don't necessarily have anything picked out, but we'll see. We'll see what the month takes us, right? And then Picture This Readathon is back, hosted by Shelley Swearingen and Spread Book Joy, my goodness, to read picture books. I don't have anything necessarily picked out, but I'm sure I'll find something and mosey my way through some picture books for April as well. Maybe take a little trip to the library with my kid or something, see if we can pick up something out. But anyway, that's it for that kind of stuff. Now, most of my month is really going to be Old School April. Of course, this is created by Kelsey from Slime and Slashers. Old School April is a big event, team-based, but really just have fun and reading, watching, doing fun activities, all to sort of reminisce the nostalgic days of your youth. And she's got, all these really cool like prompts and everything. I kind of just glued all this stuff into my big journal here, but yeah, so there's lots of prompts, and you earn points for, like I said, points for your team, go Silver Snakes, and all that kind of good stuff. So basically what I did was I just kind of went through my shelves, because I have so many unread books. Sometimes it's actually kind of overwhelming to actually pick something, like what am I actually in the mood for? I don't know. So I got just a big stack of stuff here that I've narrowed it down. So these are going to be some of the things I'm thinking I might feel like reading, but we'll see. I'm just going to go where the mood takes me this month. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I needed something. Okay. A lot of this is actually kind of like fun middle grade stuff, but I got to mix the stuff in here. I really would like to get to another Nancy Drew Fouts book. I read one last month, or this month, March. And had a fun time with it. So the next up in my series that I actually own is number 6. So I think I read number 4. I don't have book 5. I have number 6. So this one would be fun. This one's called White Water Terror. Sounds amazing. There's some dude with a big like knife on his side there. That sounds fun. So it looks like they're on a rafting trip in the wild Montana River. Okay, we'll see where that goes. I have fun books like this, The Rescuers. I mean, this is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies, is The Rescuers. Let me tell you how much I love Bernard. My entire heart. I love him. So I would love to read this. I found this at a thrift store. It's a little beat up. It's loved, but I kind of like to read this. This one I pulled because I know one of the prompts I think is about a mall, or I read a book like set at a mall or something. I have this, Maryville Mall, Sweet Success by Jana Ellis. And it's just sort of a 90s kind of teen book set at a mall. I mean, I don't know. Of course, I got a couple goosebumps. I feel like you can't do Old School April without a goosebumps. I got this one of the choose your own ones. I thought would be fun. This is Reader Beware. You choose the square. Number 5, Night in Werewolf Woods. That could be fun. I love this cover too. It's kind of like holographic color. So I got that one. I feel like that one will be fun. And then the other one I picked is over here. Is Vampire Breath. I don't think I've read Vampire Breath. That could be fun too. So a couple of goosebumps. Can't go wrong with goosebumps. All right. I'd love to get to a Judy Bloom. This is Deanie. I pulled Deanie for this. I think Deanie would be fun to, and honestly, I'm not really sure if I ever read Deanie back in the day. I read a lot of Judy Bloom. I probably read it. I really don't remember much about it though. So Deanie is a girl with scoliosis, and she has to like start wearing this like back brace, and she has to wear it for years, and so you know, she's dealing with that, and I'm very curious. I love Judy Bloom. I love reading Judy Bloom as an adult. I reread a lot of her books, and this was also originally published in 1973. Would work for reading a book published in the decade I was born as well. Let's see, I pulled a point horror and a Christopher Pike book to fill those prompts. I've got Weekend by Christopher Pike. Could be fun. Weekend in Mexico sounded like a dream vacation. 4 guys, 5 girls, in a gorgeous oceanside mansion all to themselves. It should have been perfect. Dun, dun, dun. I also have Teacher's Pet. This is by Richie Tankersley Cusick. It says, look what the cat dragged in. Could be fun. Haven't read that one yet. I was thinking I'd really like to get to a V.C. Andrews book. This is book 2 of the Landry series. I read Ruby, last year sometime, and then kind of stalled out on the series. But I really wouldn't mind getting back to it to see where the story goes. I like to see what's going to happen with Ruby next. This audiobook is on Everand too. So V.C. Andrews, this is Pearl. I didn't say the name. Pearl in the Mist, book 2 of the Landry series. That would be fun. I pulled out a John Saul book for the heck of it. I've got so many of his books, I hardly have read any of them. This is The God Project. This one sounds amazing. I love this cover, first of all. And this is like Creepy Kids or something, so that just sounds like a lot of fun. And it's not too crazy long. It's a little long. This one I pulled just because it sounds amazing, but it's a little long, so I don't know if I'll get to it, but it's called Sideshow by Anne D. Leclerc. It's like, what the first paragraph here is what kind of sold me and put it on the stack is Soleil Brown, first of all, amazing name, is an independent woman of the 90s, sold, okay, on the men from an intensely erotic, painfully wounding affair. Suddenly she finds herself confronting her former lover and feeling his power overcoming her again. And added to her fear, a monstrous serial killer is stalking the women of Boston. But now, inexplicably, she is dreaming of a little girl who lived 60 years before. Soleil watches helplessly as this 12-year-old orphan is forced into a life of abuse and threatened by even worse. Soleil knows she can save the child if only she can find a way to reach her. 2 eras, 2 people, bound together in the blur of nightmare and reality, from which there seems no awakening and no escape. I don't know. Sounds kind of amazing. So let's see. When was this actually written? 1994. I would have been a junior in high school. Okay. I thought it might be fun to read as old school kind of Harlequin romance. This is from their Intrigue line. Sometimes these have sort of supernatural leaning storylines. This is Howling in the Darkness by B.J. Daniels. A curse settled over a small New England coastal town. An unknown force was about to irrevocably change the lives of 4 young women and the men captivated by their spell. Sounds fun. Pulled out a Monster Street too. Monster Street. This is a newer middle grade series. This is the Halloweeners. I think this is book 1. I've read this one with the carnival one. That one was fun. This is set at Halloween, and there's a prompt. One of the reading prompts is a book set at or around Halloween. I thought that could fit that. I really enjoy this series. So a more older school Apple paperback, Girl in the Window. I thought this one could be fun. I don't know, it just looks kind of fun. Is it a ghost, or is Lydia Ann Alcott really back? See, things like kidnappings just don't happen in Meander. I mean, they never had up until little Lydia Ann Alcott disappeared last summer, just before my 9th birthday. The kidnapping hit me, Kylie Mulligan Culver, a lot harder than it did the town kids. Well, because Dad and I live out on what is left of the old Alcott plantation. Losing Lydia Ann was like losing someone in my own family. Kelly has just seen Lady Anne in the window of the Alcott mansion. Then, why will no one admit she's back? Dun, dun, dun. Sounds like fun. A few more kind of middle grade stories. I've got an old Choose Your Own Adventure book. This is called Horror House by Edward Packer. This is Choose Your Own Adventure number 140. Can you find out or what is terrorizing your aunt's new home? Not a lot of. I love these Choose Your Own Adventure clues. You have like pictures and stuff too. So this will be fun to work through. When was this one? 1993. Yep. Choose Your Own Adventure. Just so I just pull like a fun little middle grade stuff. Scared Stiff by Jonna and Malcolm. Somebody let the body out of the bag. Da, da, da. That looks fun. This one I pulled because of Kelsey, the slime that ate Crest View by the same person, Jonna and Malcolm. I didn't realize that at first. They've been slimed. What could be more excellent? It's the middle of summer and there are no parents around during the day. Maddie, Keegan, and Einstein rule their brand new neighborhood. But then just as they're getting bored with TV and their skateboards, all three realize that something's not quite right with the Crestview estates. Pets are disappearing, construction sites are sinking into the ground, and a purple slime is surfacing. It's ooey, it's gooey, it's after them, and nothing's going to get in the way of this slimy sucker. That's pretty fun. That sounds like a fun one. Oh, someone's dad bought that. Michael Dad. When was this one? 1992. I would have been a freshman in high school. A couple more. Horror at the Haunted House. Sometimes nightmares do come true. This is by Peg. Is it Carrot? I don't know. That's just a really fun looking cover. Looks fun. I do have one of these Sixth Sense books. So I think that would be fun because it ties into that old movie, which I just really love. Love the Sixth Sense movies. This is Survivor. Yeah. So I think he's like sees maybe like a plane crash or something like that. Is this all the middle grade book? I think it's all the middle grade. So I pulled this to possibly read a book in the decade I was born, though I have figured out I've got a couple more options, so we'll see. But this is like totally different. But this is Roadside Picnic. This is by Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. This is classic now kind of sci-fi book. It's one I've been really wanting to get to, and it's not crazy long. It's like just over 200 pages. I think that's even with an afterword and stuff. So just the book itself is like 193 pages. It is translated. It's a translated work too, which I'm always trying to get to more. Yeah, it was copyrighted in 1972, so well, not quite as old as me, but actually it's older than me. Okay, so translated by Elena Boromashenko. Yeah, so let's see. Red Schuhart is a stalker, one of those young rebels who are compelled, in spite of extreme danger, to venture illegally into the Zone, capital Z, to collect the mysterious artifacts that the alien visitors left scattered around. His life is dominated by the place and the thriving black market in the alien products. But when he and his friend Kirill go into the Zone together to pick up a full empty, something goes wrong. And the news he gets from his girlfriend upon his return makes it inevitable that he'll get back to the Zone again and again until he finds the answer to all his problems. First published in 1972, still widely regarded as one of the greatest science fiction novels, despite the fact that it's been out of print in the U.S. for almost 30 years. So this is a new translation that corrects errors and omissions that had been supplemented with a foreword by Ursula K. Le Guin. That's pretty amazing. And a new afterword by Boris Strugatsky explaining the strange history of the novel's publication in Russia. So yeah, it just sounds really kind of fascinating to me, and I'd like to get to it. So we'll see. And it's not crazy long. So another book of like right from the 90s. So this would have been from my teen years. So I never read Dennis Cooper when I was that old, when I was in the 90s. And y'all know what I'm trying to say. Good grief. But I found this one, I think, at a library book sale. This is Try, and again, it's not super long, but you know, this stuff's kind of transgressive, sometimes a bit dark. So the story of Ziggy, adopted teenage son of two sexually abusive fathers whose failed experiment at nuclear family domesticity has left him stranded with one and increasingly present in the fantasies of the other. He turns from both of these men to his uncle, who sells pornographic videos on the black market, to his best friend, a junkie whose own vulnerability inspires in Ziggy a fierce and awkward devotion. It goes from there. It's gonna be a little dark, I think, but I'm really interested to finally just read some Dennis Cooper. I feel like it probably captures that like 90s, the 90s pretty well. So yeah. And again, it's not crazy long, so, but I have a lot of movies I want to watch this month too, so I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to get to Aliens Vasquez this month. That could be a fun time to finally get to this one. This is by V. Castro. This is, of course, giving us the story of Vasquez from the Aliens movie. And I really want to get to it. There is an audiobook, so I think that will help me. I think there's an audio, right? I can't remember. I think it was. But anyway, it's on my list. We'll see if I get to it. I've heard it's pretty good. Thought some poetry might be fun. I've got Exposed Nerves poetry by Lucy Snider. It's going to be like horror poetry. I don't know, just fun. I meant, quick to get through. I haven't read poetry in a little while. I don't know, I just pulled it. I'm just pulling some short things. I am still trying to read some short story collections every month. So I pulled this one. I thought it would be interesting. This is Far From Home, an anthology of adventure horror. This was edited by Samantha Kolesnik, who we love, and it's got stories in here from Allie C., Cynthia Paleo, Haley Piper, Stephanie Ellis, I love her, Lan Woolston, Michael Patrick Hicks, Ed Kurtz, Beverly Lee, Vonnie Jackson, Vilga May Mist, Mitch Seaborn, A.K. Dennis, Ross Jeffrey, Audrey Williams, A.A. Medina, and Carmen Baca. I mean, that's a nice list of indie horror writers. So this, I think, will be my short story collection for the month, and so I'll mosey my way through that. I think that's going to be lots of fun. This I pulled because the cover gives old school vibes. This looks like a paperback from the 80s, right? The way it is looking. But this is The Doctor's Demons by Maria Abrams. Now, this came out, I think, just a couple of years ago. I think I got this in the Nightworms. Yeah, 2022. This one came out from Clash Books. It just sounds fun. Even the story sounds great too. So, child psychiatrist Hannah Cohen thought she could handle difficult cases, but medical school never prepared her for Elena, nor the demon that's possessing her. Hannah finds a way to rid Elena of her demon, but not without a price. Years later, Hannah has grown comfortable exorcising the demons of her patients until she meets Lucas. Whatever is inside of Lucas is far more powerful than anything she has faced. The denizens of hell are angry with Hannah, and they sent one of their leaders to destroy her. Whoa, I love a good possession story. I hadn't read one in a while. Again, it's not crazy long book, so it just sounds kind of fun. Gives me some nostalgic vibes. I have this book, Be Good Gertie. This is an E.T. book. I love E.T. Let me tell you how much I love E.T. I love E.T. Okay, lastly, certainly not least, this is my big pile that just fell on the floor. I got a book of lunch. I think I'll finally read Fight Club 2. I started this when I first got it, and then just stopped reading it. So I like to get to it. So Fight Club, I read when it first came out, and then the movie came out. Like I was all about that book, and well, if you know, you know, I really love Chuck Palahniuk in general. So I really need to read the Fight Club stories and get to number 2 at least. So these are graphic novels though, that kind of continue the Fight Club story. I think this is Tyler Durden and oh Lord, Marla. I think are been married for a while, and then they have a daughter, I think, too. And then some, the story goes from there. I don't really know what happens now, because again, I only read a little bit of it and then I just stopped. Whatever. But I met Chuck when this came out, and he signed it, and I got a picture with him and everything. He's so cool. But yeah, I'd like to get to this, and it's it really reminds me of the 90s, the late 90s, and particularly when the movie came out. And yeah, we love Chuck. All right. So So that's it. And I could read none of these. You know what I mean? I may just pick some else. Who knows? But I'm just going to really lean into some nostalgic vibes and just have fun with the month. And I'm looking forward to it. I want to get through a lot of movies and stuff too. I don't necessarily have anything picked out for movies. Again, just going to kind of mood watch. One thing I had thought about doing though was a sort of a double bill of a skateboard movies. So Thrashing and Gleaming the Cube. I think that's on my plan for sure. I think that's going to be fun. I'm just going to try to participate like a lot of the watch parties and stuff like that. You know, just whatever's going on. Try to, you know, watch some of the host recs. And I didn't get to any like the book recs for hosts. We'll see what I get to for that too. I like to try to get to some of those, but again, I am still on the Read What I Want challenge. So, yeah, that's it. So this was a bit rambly, but anyway, I hope that you're doing well. Thanks for watching. And if you're participating in Old School April, let me know what team you're on. Silver Snakes. Are there any other fun events that you got? What you got going on in April? Let me know. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.